Okay.
Good evening and welcome to this special broadcast of WorldWideChels presents Uncle Jester's Barbecue. We are doing a pregame show along with ranting and raving. So join in, sit down, tuck your shirt in, loosen your belt, and get ready to eat some good food. I'm here with my good friend always, Carlito. How you doing this evening?
What's going on with Chelsea, Jared?
Handler? I don't know nothing about Chelsea Handler. Yeah. Ask 50 Cent that.
It's a good dig. That's a good dig.
That's pretty good, right? You know?
Yeah, it's not bad. Now I'm a little concerned. It seems to be Vavell leaving Brighton talking outrageous shit. The coach thinking that he's allowed to speak words that I cannot imagine he was authorized to speak. It is curious times for this club. I don't really know what to think about it. I like what we saw on Wednesday. Really good. A lot of fun stuff. Andrey Santos, by a mile, the best player on the field. But I don't know what to think about the club's current situation. Jared, I'm a little not concerned, but apprehensive.
Well, I think everybody wants to be that way because it kind of gives you an out card if you're apprehensive. Well, I wasn't too sure on this. So, look, Vavell leaving is simple. So we don't all have to get into this. They had three main directors at Chelsea.
Yeah.
One of them was in for Julian Nagelsmann. One of them was in for João Felix staying. One of them was in for maybe Ryan Cherokee. And the other two were Poch, no João Felix, Mohamed Kudus. Okay, so the two, because Poch was their guy, got to overrule the one, and so the one was left out and said, I don't have a place here anymore.
Sure.
Sayonara. It's as simple as that.
There's I think it's just the guy wasn't being heard. You know,
right. He didn't feel like he had the voice or the power that he wanted. I think the basic structure of the 3-team model or the multi-club model was set.
Yeah.
It was just well on his way. So make a mountain out of the molehill if you want to, but I'm not going to do that. It's just a small thing. They're just setting up the structure. Maybe they had, whenever you buy something to put together, there's extra screws that they send just in case you lose one.
Sure.
We just put another screw in the drawer. We didn't need that extra screw. So we're good to go. It's not a big deal. People want to lose their shit over nothing.
Mountain over molehill is something my father used to say. I do love that. So we have three other beautiful people. I will start with Bree. Bree, how you doing?
We've lost Bree.
Apparently, I'm finding it hard to locate my mute button to remove that.
Okay, so you found the new button. By the way, that's what she said. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you guys?
All right. So what do you think? I mean, the last 24 hours is a little bit wild, right?
Definitely a little bit wild, but I think before we start panicking about losing someone from behind the scenes, we really don't know how these things operated. I think it's clear that the two gentlemen that we currently have in Win Stanley, goodness, someone give me a hand here.
Laura Stewart.
Stewart. So in these two gentlemen, we have people that were clearly being heard over Vavell. It's not the end of the world. We're still in for Michael Edwards. We could see some movement on that down the line. They're definitely, it is a little concerning because Vavel was the most, his CV was the most impressive.
Leipzig, right?
Yeah, Leipzig. And he also was a part of Salzburg before that. So he had a key in finding players like Szoboszlai and Erling Haaland. So it definitely seems a little bit, we're going to hang on to this guy from Brighton instead. But I think we'll be just fine.
Shrinath, is this a case of too many cooks in the kitchen? You know, everybody yelling at the same time. It's just white noise, right? Sometimes you need a leader. Sometimes you need someone to rise above. Maybe he felt as though he wasn't being heard.
Yeah, there's always a saying, 2 is a company and 3 is a crowd.
Yeah.
This is more like a crowd for me, and crowd of all fine gentlemen with great genius of brains. So each one can pull off a mid-tier club to a top club. They have that potential, and when like minds meet each other, they always collide. So I wish Vivel farewell, but I hope he doesn't succeed in our rival.
Hey, Sindra, how you doing, buddy? What do you think? I mean, this is a little bit of an upheaval, right? I mean, the last thing we need is more controversy when we just want to streamline the exits and bring in the people that we want.
Yeah. I completely agree. I was a little bit surprised when I just read the news that Vivel had just left the club. Like I didn't see why he would leave, but I can understand now if he doesn't get hurt over Winstanley and Lon Stewart. But it's good that we have cleared so many players out of the squad already, and we're just in the middle of July. So yeah.
All right, Jared. So first thing I want to talk about, Andrey Santos and Cesare, which I guess is the way you're supposed to pronounce it, Cesare Caicedo.
That's correct.
Are these people that we can rely on?
Well, I guess that remains to be seen.
Both impressive, by the way. Impressive.
Both highly impressive. I've been following for a while, but Magic 8 Ball, the Magic 8 Ball, I don't see, it's invisible because I don't have one. So I can't tell you what the future holds. I can tell you what I've seen of both Andrey Santos and Cesare Caicedo is that they're both highly talented. So for all the mineral junkies out there, look at the way that Cesare Caicedo plays. That is what you think Mason Mount was.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm just telling you right now. We're putting together one of the most epic midfields to ever be assembled. Okay? It's going to be Enzo and Caicedo, but backing them up, if not this year, will be next year, will be Andrey Santos and Cesare Caicedo.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get a break in the midfield. You're going to have balls flying at you from every angle. You're going to look like you're at a gay pride event with balls flapping everywhere.
A lot of balls.
Lots of balls.
And we're okay with that. Lots of balls. But Jared, I got to ask you, I mean, like, the other thing is that you look at the way Cesare played, I mean, no fear, right? He was slaloming through, like he was skiing. And when you can do that as a dribbler, it just shows you have enormous confidence because that's really hard to do. I can promise you, someone that was a good dribbler, like, that's very difficult to do, what he did, because he had pressure on both sides on his shoulders, right? He kept doing it. It just shows that he wasn't afraid to meet the moment. Brilliant stuff. Whether he gets along or whether he stays, it doesn't matter because I still think that he has a future here. As for Santos, Andrew, sorry. As for Santos, I got to say, his poise and his boringness is why I liked him, because he was boring. But that's the job. The job is to receive the ball, play the ball, to always being in position to receive the ball, to play the ball, because that's what Jorginho did, right? You're always, even under pressure, just cool and calm, never being dramatic, just always playing the ball, playing the ball. The difference between him and Jorginho is that Andrey Santos is actually an athlete, Jared. He's actually an athlete.
Oh, yeah.
That's the difference.
Look, I've been on this guy for a while.
Yeah.
You know, when we signed him, we got together with Jess, and she said, Casemiro Jr. Right? That's what we heard.
Yeah.
So, just the calmness, he plays above his age.
Yeah.
And the way he dictates the midfield, we controlled the midfield with him on the pitch. When he left, we started to lose control because
We started to lose control.
Lewis Hall is no Andrey Santos, and neither is Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, I mean, Froze, I gotta be honest with you, man. Looking at Santos, I felt such serenity. You know, he just the guy just has it. He's 19. I know he's gonna make mistakes. I know he's gonna fuck up. I'm allowing him to do that. It's okay. But he had such poise, man. When he had the ball, they almost started to back off of him because they knew they weren't going to get the ball.
No, 100%. I feel like when we got him, right, there was a lot of hype around him. And he just shows so, like, it feels like he's been playing forever. You know, obviously, like, we shouldn't overrate someone, but he just has this calm, cool composure about him that, like, sort of, like, makes everyone confident. I feel like he's a really exciting signing.
Yeah, and I feel like he's one that maybe we're going to keep. I mean, I can't see a loan for him that would allow him to learn more than just deputizing behind, hopefully, Caicedo, right? I mean, I still think that even if Caicedo signs, Santos will play. So for me, this is the ideal situation.
No, 100%. There's a reason why, like, all these other clubs want him or wanted him before Chelsea got him as well. Like, we have a really, really good player in our hands.
So I got to ask you, Srinath, I mean, with all these things that we're doing, and I'm looking at guys like Angelo Gabriel, for me, was the standout surprise. Now, for me, the best player on the field was Andrey Santos. But Angelo Gabriel, for me, was the biggest surprise on Wednesday. And I'm thinking, Srinath, like, are we actually getting these scouting things right? And that we are priming ourselves for 2 years from now. I know that nobody wants to hear that. But 2 years from now to have players that should be 60, 70, 80 million dollars that we got for 12, 12, and 12 because Santos cost 12. Cesare Costate cost 12. Angelo Gabriel cost 12 million. All of them. And so I feel like it's great scouting, even though everybody still wants to say, what have you done for me lately? What can we do now? Because our reputation is kind of on the line.
So one thing which I want to ask you is, let's take Andrey Santos or Caicedo or Gabriel. Let's take first Andrey Santos. After we signed him and he was supposed to come and join us, who came for him? Barcelona. When Caicedo was, he wasn't ready for market. There were rumors that he was ready. Who immediately said that they would be ready to loan him? Juventus. So here are the players who have not even made a scratch in European football, and we are not getting offers from a mid-tier or a lower-tier European club. We are getting from the top-tier European clubs. So I think for the first time in a while, we have gone for kids who are going to be superstars, and we have invested in the right places. And Angelo Gabriel, I hope I'm not butchering his name, but
yeah, it's his name.
The kid is amazing.
Yeah.
The way he drifts in, the way he plays with the ball. I mean, like, oh my God, we have got a baller over here.
You know, he wore number 11 at Santos. I'm not saying what you think I'm saying, but what I am saying is that he's got some sticky feet. He's got some sticky feet.
And I need to take a moment to give Carlito some credit for identifying some jabronis whom was like quick to dismiss Angelo Gabriel, later on to celebrate him with photo of him with Neymar. So
Yeah.
I'd like to give credit to Carlito for calling out those brown envelopes.
Oh, you mean Johnny Minerals, who said that Angelo Gabriel was a kindergarten signing, only for Johnny Minerals to tweet a photo of Angelo Gabriel and Neymar a couple hours later. It's very interesting how he flip-flops like a beach sandal. Yeah, he wants to be clever with his words. Motherfucker, I'm clever with my words too. The only difference is that I'm consistent. You're an idiot. That's the difference. So talk to me, Sindra. Do you think that we have done well thus far? What do you want moving forward?
Yeah, like I'm happy with what our scouting and we're doing, and actually we're doing some good scouting with like Andrey Santos now, Cesar Caicedo, and now Angelo Gabriel. Like all of them are young, talented players that have come into Chelsea from like Brazil and Italy and have now performed well. Like Caicedo performed well at loan. Unfortunately, I think Santos were actually gonna be with the first team, but he didn't get the work permit on, or couldn't get the work permit, so he went back to Brazil. Played well for Vasco da Gama there, and to be fair, all of these young players are not small either. Like when you think about Angelo Gabriel, he's 180 centimeters tall. Like he's 5'11" to be a winger. That's not small.
Oh, is
The
he
same
really?
with the same
Oh,
with
wow.
Andrey Santos as well, and Cesar Costa is like 6'2", so
Yeah.
they're not small people, and they're my age. Like Santos and Gabriel are 1 year younger than me, and Costa is the same age as me, and they're tall as well. So like I'm happy with what the scouting network are doing, and it looks like we're doing well as well. And don't forget we also have Kari Chukwuemeka in the squad as well, who we signed last summer as well.
So, Bree, the thing is that you and I, we know that young people should never be trusted, and yet young people are also here to surprise us, right?
Yeah.
And I feel as though the young people that we have bought are not young people at heart. I feel as though they're serious people. You have people like Cesare Caicedo, who just met the moment and didn't give a fuck. Man, didn't give a fuck. Like he played this ball in Nkunku, and Nkunku obviously dished it back. It was a side foot bump, right? He curled out, and Caicedo played this pinpoint ball that was a straight ball for a straight run. So normally, if you're playing center mid, you want a forward to play a diagonal run for a straight ball or a straight run for a diagonal ball. But that was a straight run for a straight ball. That's a very hard pass to make. And yet Cesare Caicedo absolutely busted. It was pinpoint stuff. And I'm just looking, I'm thinking, man, maybe there is a way for us to trust them while also saying, hey, you're not going to start, but we do like you.
Absolutely. I think a lot of times, and I'm guilty of this too, a lot of times we undervalue people because of how young they are.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look back on even using Kylian Mbappe as an example, who won the World Cup at, I believe, 18 years old and was pivotal in that process.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how old you are physically, but how old you are between the ears. If you're serious about your profession, if you're dedicated and driven, and you're willing to learn and work hard, like we're seeing with Angelo Gabriel, Santos, Cesare Caicedo, we're seeing it with all of these young players. Honestly, I love that we're going after these unknown players because people don't know how to play against us right now. Last year, we were so predictable, and now we have these relatively unproven at this level young talents that were highly sought after. And it's just really exciting to see these young players come in and want to work hard for the badge. Every single player we have seen, from Malo Gusto to Angelo Gabriel, even Diego Moreira, who has come in, and I thought he played decent. You know, he had bright moments, but there were still some things that he needed to work on. Again, that could have been just nerves. It's definitely a high pressure situation, knowing that this is your one opportunity, possibly, to really cement yourself into the first team and to be in contention for the starting 11.
Yeah.
But all of these young players, you're hearing them say the exact same thing. I'm here to work. I'm here to prove myself. And I want to make it work at Chelsea.
Well, I mean, if anybody questions why I have Bree on, it's because Bree is a brilliant person. Love you, Bree. Thank you. So
I got something to add.
Go ahead, man.
I was just looking up Moreira and Madueke and Gabriel.
Gabriel, yeah.
Now Kudus, they're all left-footed. All of them. So what are you doing with 4 left-footed right wingers / attacking midfielders?
I don't care about lefty righty.
No, again, I understand that, but these are all in kind of the same positional group, don't we think?
Well, I mean, it's internal competition. Obviously, that's that's what I would cultivate when I was a coach. Of course, but obviously, what you're saying is that it's a little bit much.
Yeah, a little much on the unless
Kudus not being a winger though, and we'll get into him.
Okay.
But no, the one thing I want to ask for Rose was actually about Angelo. Gabriel was. I actually didn't think that this player was going to be even in contention for Rose. I didn't think that this player was going to be serious. I thought it was going to be fuck off to Strasbourg, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
No, but like it's not just you. I feel like the majority of the fans were just seeing him as a wild card, do well in preseason, but well as in like giving it his all, and then someone who's super raw, and then most likely go out on loan. But he surprised a lot of us, even people at Santos, right? Like a lot of fans and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, there are so many Angelo Gabriel fans. I did not realize 100%. That.
Yeah, no, like they were really like. It's weird because the majority of them were like, "Oh, he's going to be a superstar," but there were some that were like, "Oh, the sale isn't a big deal. He's not that good. He's way too raw. He needs a lot of time, etc." Which is why I usually overhype a lot of players, but for him, I was really cautious and I didn't say too much. But then I feel like a lot of us now can see his undeniable talent. Like just a few minutes, and you just knew he has that it factor.
So
obviously,
let's go. Well, first, let's go over this one play. Yeah. So there are plays within the game where you do a 1-2 that's not really a 1-2, it's more of a 1 bump, and then you run off of the bump of the player you just played, right? Mm-hmm. So because what you're doing is you're dragging the defender with you. So he played a bump off of the wing and then a bump off of the striker, got it back, dragged everybody's eyes towards one side, and then did a cut ball to Ben Chilwell that was absolutely phenomenal. That type of stuff doesn't happen for young players that are not ready. That's a pro move. I mean, you see KDB do the bump 1-2 where it's really, again, you play it out the striker, but really it's just like a deft 1 yard touch just so the guy can continue to run on. And the guy that you just played gives a little nudge to the defender trying to chase you. And he did that shit. Yep, and I was like, damn, that is some grown man stuff. That's not the type of thing that an 18-year-old normally does.
No, 100%. Especially that, I feel like that clip, those like 10 seconds, you just knew like we have a star in our hands. But at the same time, it's such a tricky situation because I want him to get a lot of minutes, right?
Me too.
And, you don't want a situation where he's on the bench. But then again, you don't want a situation where he goes out on loan and we're struggling for wingers and he's shining elsewhere. But, I just trust Pochettino to handle this situation, but it's a great problem to have this.
Well, I mean, the other thing is that we need a fourth winger. Everybody knows it. You can't have 3 for 2 positions, right? You need 4.
Yeah.
It's the Manchester City model. Everybody thinks that Manchester City is doing all this shit. No, what they do really well is that they have 2 starters to every position, and we need 2 starters to every position. It's the way to go. So we need a fourth winger, whether it's that or Dybala. I don't know, but for me, it just seems as though he's big enough. Like Sindra said, he is big enough. He's tall. Just like Madueke. Madueke is tall too. But I feel as though he's going to create competition for Madueke.
No, 100%. And the good thing about like these young players is that like they're fearless, you know?
Yeah.
And you could clearly see that. And it's one of those situations where I feel like back in the day, like 15, 20 years ago, when people were talking about young players, the whole thing of, oh, you can't win anything with kids. The kids that we are signing are really, really good, talented kids that are
100%,
better than a lot of, so that's why this whole debate of it is just like strange. But at the same time, I do think we need leaders, but we have them in like the likes of Thiago Silva and also, you know, it's all about balance at the end of the day.
So, Jared, we had this interesting bombshell. You and I were talking about this earlier. Of course, the entire Chelsea fan base is abuzz about this one thing. Maybe it's a fuck you to Brighton. And to be clear, one man took on an entire fan base and won. And everybody here fucking saw it. I took on the entire Brighton fan base and I took a massive dump on their head. And they couldn't say shit, man, not a fucking thing, man. Oh, I was cold as ice. Oh, so fuck you, Brighton, for all your impropriety and how your manager talked about an open negotiation that didn't exist, saying that maybe we would go with Caicedo if you gave us Colwell. Are you kidding me? Fuck you. Fuck you. All right?
Yeah, I think he had a little cock wobble there.
It's cock wobble. Oh, by the way, yeah. Someone shit on me. Said, you're a cock wobble. I said, I'm going to steal that. I'm going to give it to Jared. I'm a cock wobble now, apparently, because I called out Brighton. But
something you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to talk about other teams' players. That's why they don't. That's why most of the time they shy away from speaking on other players contracted to other teams. So he had a faux pas. He can hold that shit. Brighton are starting to look like I don't know. You know, there was so much glamour around how they did things in the Brighton way.
Right.
And the Brighton way looks at like, I don't know, pout until we get our money that we want. I mean, is that the Brighton way? To pout? I mean, you paid, what, $7 million for this kid?
Yeah. He's 21 years old. You paid what, £5 million? And now you're asking for 100. Really? You
want 20%, 200% increase.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean 200%. 200%. What are you talking about? It's way more than 200%. On 5 mil to 100 mil. I mean, shit, man. I don't even know what math is.
You know.
Sidi, you got to talk to me about this, man. This guy De Zerbi, good coach, by the way. But Sadiq, for him to have the balls to say, yeah, if Colwell comes to Brighton, we will let Caicedo go. Number one, does he even have the authorization to say that? Number two, who the fuck do you think you are, man?
Yeah, it's massive disrespect to Chelsea, 100%. Especially as a new manager, no?
Hey, he knew what he was doing, too.
Yeah, of course. He knows what he's doing, but at the end of the day, his owner's going to give in. As we know, our owners are sorting the deal out as we speak, hopefully. And we got everyone on the panel. We got Carlito, just as everyone. But yeah, it's frustrating, obviously. I've echoed it many times, but this manager, Brighton manager, he's come up with some hot quotes.
Some whoppers, man. Shernath, talk to me. Is this impropriety?
So,
I mean, is he flirting with it?
Something tells me that De Zerbi knows what he's doing. I mean, his attitude tells me like either he doesn't give a fuck what Brighton thinks of him.
By the way, let the record show Shernath said fuck. Okay.
Put it all in the swear jar.
Swear jar, Shernath.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry, buddy, but I had to.
So he doesn't give a damn what Brighton would act of it when he speaks of such things, or
Yeah.
Brighton is backing him. It's either one of the two, because clearly any manager who has any level of experience in this game would know that they don't speak about other team players. It's because it's a unwritten rule that shouldn't be broken. Once you start going that path, there's no end to it. And what he did shows how little he is and how little the club is. That's
So I will go to Bree after I ask Feroz this. Feroz, is this him admitting defeat and him just showing that he's pissed, or does he know something that we don't?
No, 100%. I feel like it's one of those things where he just knows it's gonna happen, and he's just being super desperate. That's
Okay.
how I feel. Maybe my optimism is kicking in, but like someone who
No, I feel the same way you
yeah.
do, by the way.
Yeah, like I mean, he's done really well with Brighton and stuff, and I feel
Yeah,
like
for
he's
sure.
level-headed. For him to say something like this, it was so like out of the blue, which is why I just think he's just being super desperate and stuff, because he's just trying to go like, hey, you know what, you guys are trying to get Caicedo, we're gonna try for a Levi and like try to unsettle him, which is not gonna work, you know.
So, Bree, is it going to work? Because I'll be very honest with you. Everybody on this panel saw the quote, and everybody saw the reaction, because Brighton, for all of their tiny little kingdom that they like to think is a fiefdom, it's not. It's a little cottage. They went nuts about the concept of Levi Colwell. And I have to say, they're small. They're small people. It's a small club and all that shit. But is there something to it? Am I missing something here, Britt?
I think, well, before I can definitively say one way or the other, I think what we see on the pitch, it's been confirmed that Levi Colwell will be starting tonight. I think his body language, the way he behaves, interacts with his teammates, his old teammates with Brighton, I think a lot of that, sorry, a goal was just scored if you're watching the friendly. But I think that will answer a lot of our questions. Colwell looked happy enough during open training. He's smiling in Chelsea pictures, and he looks to be happy here at Chelsea. I think a lot of those questions still haven't been definitively answered, though, because, of course, we don't see. There could be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know, that De Zerbi does know. There were quotes.
Bree, can I interrupt you and ask you, are you sure that we want to? Are you sure that we want to allow the whims of a 19-year-old to dictate the future of our back line?
Absolutely not. No.
I don't, because I feel as though it's kind of ridiculous that he holds the cards until he signs. Once he signs, he's ours. Once he signs, he has no say. But I don't like the apprehension. I don't like the limbo.
I don't either. And I don't like, I've made it pretty clear on my socials how I feel about this situation. I understand how talented he is, how exciting Levi Colwell is. But people are gassing up this kid, saying he is the next John Terry. Have some respect for your legends and set your bar higher. Mm-hmm. Mason Mount was not the next Frank Lampard, and it was very disrespectful for people to say that.
Yeah, I mean, let's be very clear. Frank Lampard is one of the 3 best players in the history of the Premier League.
Yeah.
And that's not Chelsea bias. That is, Thierry Henry, that's Alan Shearer, and that's Lampard. Maybe Mo Salah. Not even kidding, by the way, on Mo Salah. Those are some of the best players ever to play for this league. Mason Mount, get the fuck out of here.
It's for me, if it goes sideways, I would be calling up Leipzig.
Huh.
What do you want what do you genuinely want for Josko Vardiol?
So this is where I have to. I'm not calling Sadiq out. I love Sadiq. Sadiq is a friend.
I knew it.
You knew it was coming. But here's the deal. I'm not calling you out because here's the thing. It was Fab. It wasn't. It was Fab. Fab did say that it was done deal, right? So you're only as good as your information. And we were the same. We were like, ah, fuck, Guardiola, right? To City for sure. But Sadiq Fab may have been wrong about this one because you have got everybody coming out saying it's not done. There's no agreement. He's in a Red Bull shirt, man, sweating his ass off, looking handsome as hell, but certainly not in a City shirt. Sadiq, I mean, it's not you. It was bad information, in my opinion.
It just reminds of Cucurella, bro. Brighton come up with a statement.
Oh, so you think it's a smokescreen?
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm waiting for him to. I'm surprised he didn't tweet saying we'll see who lied. I'm literally waiting for that.
By the way, he didn't do that. That's
Did he
where
do
I
it?
think that. That's where I think he may have gotten got.
Did he tweet it?
And just to build on what
Froze. I have to ask Froze this. Froze, did he get got?
This is what I think, but what do I know? I think.
Hold on. Let's be very
Okay.
clear. Froze
Yeah.
does know his stuff.
No. I just did.
He does. Come on.
No, so I think personally that it wasn't too close, the deal, but negotiations were going on, and then I feel like that would have the fact that Fabrizio made it public knowledge sort of hampered the deal slightly. It sort of reminds me of a situation. I you know what? I shouldn't compare it. I was going to compare the whole Robinho thing with Chelsea. I just feel like they got upset at this whole thing being too public, which is why it's stalling. And I still genuinely believe that the deal is going to happen. And it's just like a matter of time, and it's just like delaying it. But at the same time, this just goes to show that a lot of journalists, a lot of agents, whatever, until a deal is done, they should not say it's done. Because they lose credibility.
Sindra, I mean, you and I have talked so much about journalistic credibility, right? And just piggybacking off of what Feroz said, you and I mean, what do you think is going on with the Guardiola deal? Before we go back to Chelsea, but like for me, it seems as though maybe he goes, but maybe the price is too high. Maybe the lady doth protest too much, Sindra.
Yeah, well, I also think, I swear I saw something about also he failed a medical. Like, there was something like...
Say again?
He failed a medical.
Oh.
Like, there was something wrong in the medical stuff, so, and that's why it was, like, slowed down. Kind of similar to how Ziyech failed to move to Al Nassr earlier in the window when he failed his medical. I swear I saw a tweet from Fabrizio about that, but I can't. I'm looking for it as we speak, but at the moment I can't find it, just to make sure I actually have the right information about it. But yeah, it's interesting to see how some journalists are having some like misses, but that's life. Sometimes you get some information that is wrong, and then you publish it, and then it turns out to be wrong information, and we have to just go off of that. And luckily, when they find out it's wrong, they make a new post, a new article about it, and saying that it was wrong, and then I was mistaken and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Everybody's told things, and then they report things. What I respect the most is if someone reports something and says, "You know what? I got it wrong. Here's what it really is." What I don't respect is people that just die with the lie. Politicians do this. Certain journalists that are afraid of being wrong because they're insecure. No, I respect journalists that say, "Hey, man, I fucked up. It's okay. Let's just move on. This is the real story." So people know that. People have seen this, obviously, throughout July and certainly in June. But so I want to move on to this really interesting story that came out of nowhere. Jared, KUDUS, Ajax, attacking midfielder. By the way, Sadiq, KUDUS is not a D mid. Just wanted you to know. Just being very clear.
This guy, man.
Wait, why is he saying that? Why is he saying that?
I didn't say that.
Sadiq, this thing is just he's mistaken. This jabroni.
I didn't say that. You can assume that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, kind of did.
Sadiq, where did you say that?
No, I just said I basically said all will be forgiven. If we
Oh,
sign
I'll
him
be
and
forgiven
not
because he
Caicedo.
thinks it's a 1-for-1 swap. Oh yeah, okay.
Okay.
Gotcha,
That's
So,
an assumption. That's an assumption.
aside from the banter,
So Jared, talk to me about this because this
Sure.
is interesting, right? Because this has implications for Nkunku, this has implications for Jackson and Broja as well, of course.
well, also Santos and Morea because
Yeah,
he does
because
play
it can go
right
either way, right? North or south of the midfield. This has implications.
Yeah, so from what I've seen, very, very flashy player. He's got flair. I thought that's what you wore on your uniform when you worked at Bennigan's
Hey.
or Shenanigans.
Easy office space. Easy.
Okay. Yeah, so he's got flair. I don't know how many pieces of flair he
By the
has.
way, you should look at Kevin. He has 37 pieces of flair and a
Flair.
tremendous smile.
Classic.
Only me and Jared would get that joke. Okay, moving on.
So, but great. Again, that means you have 4 left-footed potential right wingers. So I'm trying to say, okay, I got you. That's a whole lot of them. You can only keep 2 in the team. So 2 of them are going out on loan this year, and I think that might be Andrey Santos and Morea if KUDUS comes in. So that just might be it. I would love to see one of those 2 prove that we don't need KUDUS, right? Prove that you're good enough that we don't need to go get this kid. I think that's everybody's assignment tonight. Those young players coming in, prove that we don't need somebody in your position.
That is an enormous task, by the way. Because
Right,
this is a top 4 team, and you have to give. Look, I may have waged war on Brighton's entire fan base, which, by the way, I beat them like a motherfucking drum. I smoked every single fucking one of those jabronis. But at the end of the day, we got 12th, and they got top 4. This is a top 4 team.
Top 4.
They got 6th or
Hey,
7th.
hey, top 4.
Brighton didn't get top 4.
No.
They are Europa.
So where
Where
have
have you been?
Where are you?
Oh my God! What am I? I have been taking shit from these people, and they didn't even get top 4 today. Are you fucking kidding me?
And their manager, they
I
managed.
was under the auspices of these people were way too bold today. Oh, you gotta, dude, Sidney, you gotta be kidding me. Of all the shit I have taken today, all these motherfuckers, are you kidding me? They
That's
did
funny.
not get top 4.
They are in Europa.
I obviously didn't pay attention once May came around. I have got some graves to undug just so I can dig them again.
Yeah, they got 9. They were 9
Get the
points from
shovel.
top
Get
4.
the shovel.
I have
Oh
the
my
shovel
God!
ready.
Are you? Hey! Speak to me, Feroz. What position did Brighton actually finish in?
You don't know.
it depends.
What,
Wait,
what-
what's the-
does anybody know?
6.
6th.
6th. They were
No,
9
but-
points.
So
9 points
are
off.
they in the conference league?
Europa League?
Europa.
Oh my
And,
God.
and, and that was one of the codes. That was one of the codes. Carlito, that's what pissed me off. That was one of the code that they are in Europe and we weren't. Like,
Yeah, that's the
they
code.
are in Europa. We
they
won
are
that
bitching
twice.
about Champions League and they don't even have it. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh wow! I'm so glad to be wrong because this is fucking hilarious.
Yeah. I think actually
Oh.
if Brighton
There
would
we
have
go.
gotten top 4, I think Caicedo would have stayed to play
Yeah.
Champions League for Brighton.
They gave him a huge extension just to secure top 4, and they didn't even get it. Wow, jabronis, just jabronis.
We do need to have a moment of silence for Arsenal.
What?
They're down
And they're-
2-0.
And their
No
new
way.
center back. And Declan
And
Rice.
their new DM, Declan Rice,
Is Havertz
getting
playing?
rinsed. They're down 2-0.
Yeah, the game is exciting. You know,
Is Havertz playing? Is Havertz playing?
Both
Yes,
he and
in
Mount
the
are playing.
midfield.
Yeah.
No, but
Carlito.
By the way, let's be very clear. Sadiq loves Declan Rice. Loves him.
Who loves who? Loves who?
Sadiq loves Declan Rice.
you know who
Declan
I think
Rice.
we should get? I think we should get.
I love
this,
him, best mate, Rice.
I think
No,
we should get
let
United's
Feroz
number
speak. Let
7.
Feroz speak. What do you got, Feroz?
No, I'm watching this United Arsenal game. I think we should go for this United's number 7. I don't know his name.
I heard he had the stinker. I heard
Messi's not blind there, Feroz.
He's playing the Enzo position, by the way.
Is he?
He's playing the Enzo position.
Is he?
God.
Yes, he is. He's playing
His
a
passing has been
4-2-3-1.
so bad.
Wow.
Like
Look,
who is
hey, look, Feroz. I gotta ask you this question, man, and
No.
without you betraying any confidences. Alex Goldberg, you know, you got Matt Law, you got Simon Phillips, all these guys that were cool with Tony Mount, right? It is kind of interesting that they were gonna be so ardent about him staying at Chelsea, only for Mason Mount to eventually have the interview where he said, I wanted to leave Chelsea. I have to ask you, because you know these people. I have to ask you why they wanted to die with the lie. This is the same thing with like politicians now that are hold on. No. Hold on. This is the same thing with the politicians now that are, you know, lawyers that are glomming themselves onto a politician that's going to get indicted. It's the same thing. I don't understand why these people who are public, Alex, Simon, okay, all these guys, the London is Blue podcast as well, right? Nick Verlaney. Why would they say that he wanted to stay? Mason Mount wanted to stay when he turned around and said he fucking didn't. Explain to me why they wanted to die with this lie.
Okay,
and my next question is, how does that make them more credible?
Okay, so here's the situation. First of all, I hate this topic because ever since he went, I'm like, I don't like to talk about like players that don't play for the club. But just
but I'm gonna have to ask you because this
100%.
question matters.
Yeah, 100%. Because even I backed him like heavily. I feel like the biggest problem is it's with the definition of him wanting to leave. For instance, his very first interview for MUTV, right? He said, Chelsea did not have me in their plans, so I had to leave. That's what he said, like, quote unquote, if I'm not mistaken. Which is why this whole thing of him wanting to leave or him being kicked out, I feel like it was both the club's fault and Mount's fault. It is what it is. And, you know, there are 3 sides to the story, right? Like, I'm not saying, like,
By the way, you say that there are 3 sides to every story. Sometimes there are just 2 sides to every story.
Fair enough. But I feel like, because I heard stuff from like Mount's camp as well, and obviously they're going to be super biased, and Chelsea is going to say what they want to say. So
let me ask you this: what do you think, without betraying confidences, but with also being honest? Because I am asking you to be honest about this. Again, without betraying confidences, what do you think happened?
I think what happened is pretty much before the World Cup, he was given a verbal agreement verbal offer, like, hey, you know what, this is what we're going to offer you, like a 5+ 1 year deal, around 200K, slightly less than what he's making at United, which he was comfortable with accepting it. Unfortunately, I feel like he should have just taken it then instead of stalling a month. But he's like, I'm going to come back from Qatar and accept it. By the time he came back, Todd and Iqbali gave the keys to Paul Winstanley to handle negotiations. And that's when Paul pretty much took the offer off the table. And he's like, no, we're not going to offer you 5+1. We're just going to offer you a 1 year extension.
Do you think that any of this had to do with the fact that he played terrible in the World Cup?
I think that could play a big role in it as well. I don't know why that offer was taken off the table. That could be a great reason, but it was taken off the table, and that's when he's like, all right, I have no choice. I have to look for other clubs, and obviously his dad, who is his agent, was like going to United and other clubs, and he got his move. Obviously, loyalty in football is sort of like dead these days.
No
if
shit.
he really wanted to stay, he would have stayed. You know, obviously, I'm going to be biased because I still
No,
like him.
can you say that one
Yeah.
more time, please?
No, if any player genuinely wants to stay at the club, they would stay. But at the same
Thank you.
time, for me, I'm not gonna go like, oh, I hate Mount because he forced his move, because that's not the case.
Dude,
But yeah,
Froze.
Mhm.
I have no like intense opinions on him at all.
yeah,
I
of
just think
course.
he's an average player. Like I
That's-
never thought that this was some consequential thing.
Mhm.
And
that's
by
a
the way,
fair
I know
point.
I'm asking you because you watch football the way that I do. Was he ever really that good that it demanded Johnny Minerals to infect his entire fucking
Johnny.
being to become about one player? It is so bizarre to me.
You know,
When
the
I
thing
look
with
at this
John-
player, I just think he's just an English midfielder.
Average.
He's not even as good as Jordan Bourne. Gerard Bowen. Not even as good. Not even close. Like I just like Gerard Bowen smokes him. Like what are we even talking about here, Sprows? Honestly,
No. I think what happened with Mount is pretty much he was super underrated when he first started playing for us, and then when he started playing for us, he became massively overrated. That's what happened, and that's what happens to a lot of these English young players. You know, like when they have like a breakout season, they get like heavily overrated, and obviously like it gets to them, and then they suffer. I don't know, but either way, it is what it is. You know, I feel like if people rate him, because I somewhat rate him, but my bias is gonna kick in.
shame
I'm
on
I'm not at a level at Johnny. You know, I'm slightly more realistic. And,
Well,
you
let
know.
me ask you this question: if
Yeah.
you were in a English World Cup final, right? So you have England versus
Oh,
Germany.
no.
Would
Oh,
you? And you're on left wing, right? Would you start Jack Grealish or Mason Mount?
no. Jack. I would say Jack.
Why?
I think he's a better player for me.
Oh, not
But
just
no.
a better player, one of the best left wings in the world.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to start with the guy, the biggest Lakaka hater in the history of the world,
Lakaka.
Feroz. Just kidding. No. So Srinath. So Lakaka has said that he is begging to go back to Inter. Talk to me about going back to your ex-girlfriend and her saying absolutely fucking not.
No. I mean, like, no. Have you seen this series called Love Island? Where you have
Oh,
all the
no.
drama?
Yes.
I see Lukaku saga having more drama than Love Island. Now he's
Oh,
sending
no.
texts to his friends, his relatives, everyone who knows, even the entry code of Inter Milan's training ground, asking like, please let them know I'm ready to come. And they're like ignoring him. That's the latest news I heard, and he has been onto Instagram and other social media saying that there are lies and rumors. I'm like, okay, so why don't you come back to Chelsea? Oh no, wait, we don't want you. Right, we changed our padlocks as well, but that doesn't stop him.
I have so much to say about this guy, Lukaku. Oh my god.
Well,
You love him. You love him.
all right, well, you know what? Look, this is an open forum. Say it.
Yeah.
No, fucking say it. You want to say something? Fucking say it.
No.
Say
It's crazy how like stupid he is. It's mind-boggling when he first did that.
Yo,
interview
by
with
the
us.
way, he is literally betraying his own deals.
Everyone, he's betraying everyone. He had a falling out with the Everton fans and United fans, and then obviously Chelsea, and then like he's just even Juventus don't want him, like the Juve fans. It's absurd what he's doing, and then obviously even Drogba like commented on his photo, right? Like, hey, pick up your phone because he's not answering any call, and now he's trying to like text back his teammates, like, oh, try to convince Inter to sign him back. He's so stupid, and you know what? From what I understand, Todd and Iqbali, they had a lot of sympathy for him when they bought the club, and they were like, you know what, fair enough, you can go out on loan. We wish you the best, and then when you come back, let's see what happens. And then apparently after the season got over, this season he's just been a horrible person, and he's just like,
Bro,
ignoring-
Jay-Z fired him.
Even
Jay-Z
Jay-Z,
fired
yeah.
him.
Everyone is like, he's
Yeah.
done. Like, even Saudi,
When?
you know what? Even Saudi Arabia don't deserve him. He needs to go to like some other place. Like, I
I
feel like
think
he doesn't deserve the money there. No way.
When did he get dropped? When did he get dropped?
as soon as Inter
last
walked
week.
off.
Last week. Yeah.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not
So-
see
As Inter
one
dropped
thing.
off.
Oh yeah, it was all over everywhere. Rock Nation dropped him.
Jester's talking to me about this firing that Jay-Z just did. Because Lukaku, let me tell you something, man. There's only so many ways that you can skin a cat once the cat is just fucking bald. I mean, give me a break, man. You can fuck people over enough times. Once that's over, you don't have any more people, dog. We don't believe you. You need more people. He has no people. No people.
Well, I mean, you can't be your own worst enemy. And that's what he is. He's his own worst enemy. He needs to, I don't know, maybe dude's bipolar or something like that. Because he just
Totally bizarre.
seems to do dumb shit all the time. He wanted Inter so bad. Made a big deal of going to Inter. Okay, fine. Inter was stalling on the process. Rock Nation got involved. They came up with the money. Oh, I've been talking to Juve.
Hey,
What the hell is wrong with this dude?
No, he's just so
Hey,
stupid.
Garrett,
so
I have a
stupid.
question.
Sure.
So, I saw that Inter was after Thuram. Like even
No,
before-
they weren't after him. They signed him.
No, let me complete this flow, Carlito. Just hold on with me for a moment here.
Hold on.
They
I've got
were-
the
they were
lineup. Hold
going-
on. I've got the lineup.
Ah.
Sorry. I stink at this, but it is what it is.
You stink of a lot of stuff,
I
especially
know.
armpit.
So here we go. Shut the fuck up. Kepa, Gusto, Thiago Silva, Colwell, Chilwell. Good. Colwell starts, by the way. Santos, Gallagher. What the fuck?
Yes, Gallagher, let's go.
Sterling, Chukwuemeka, Maatsen, and Kunku. So that means
Ooh.
Maatsen is playing wing, a position he will never win. And Nkunku, striker, certainly one of the best players on this team.
You never know.
Well, you have to worry
And
about
it looks like
fitness.
Pies has come out with our substitute options as coming.
Oh, coming. Yes.
Who else?
Oh, she made a sex joke.
Okay. We need another word from you, Bree. You just can't say coming and stop. This is a
Breezy.
channel.
So Breezy, I gotta ask Breezy.
She like
Are we gonna go with Nkunku as striker because he's small? Let's be very clear to everybody in this panel. Nkunku's kind of small.
He is, but he's quick. He makes good runs.
No, I'm not. And by the way, I'm not discounting him as a player. I know he's really good.
Right.
It's just he's not a striker.
He's
But
not.
it could be a good it could be a good experiment if you want to do it in preseason. That's I just feel.
Bree, do you really want this?
Here's the thing. He needed one opportunity, one touch, and he scored.
I know he's good. I know he's good, Bree,
He's
but
taller than Aguero.
look, Nkunku is 5'10", but he's skinny. You guys, size matters when it comes to playing the number 9 position.
When it comes to everything, let's be honest.
That's, I mean,
Wow. Revelations.
I mean,
Got
he
him.
loves a big dick. I mean, it is what it is, right? So,
Shut up.
no.
Did you-
But here's the thing: are you not a little concerned that he's a little slight?
No. And the reason why, I don't know if you guys heard me, the stream cut out for me for a little bit, but the substitutions are out as well. And we
Yes.
have Jackson, Mudryk, Angelo, Morera, Burstow. So we may get to see a youth academy player play up front. But if we need to bring in that physicality over the pace that Nkunku brings, we can bring in Jackson. And it's not a downgrade on the pace either. We saw
Oh
how
no, it's an
strong and
upgrade.
fast
It's an
this guy
upgrade.
is. Now he's not known for being good with his head. But I think we saw in the last game, we're changing how we play. Obviously, new coach, new system. But we used to play so heavily through our fullbacks and just pray and spray. Like, let's hope if we continue to cross, someone will get on the end of it, and nobody ever did.
Yeah.
Now we're starting to play with Caicedo. You're starting to see that we are starting to play more through the middle. We even saw like Angelo, cutting in, playing in through the middle. I think that is a key area, a key thing that Pochettino wanted to address. Stop playing on the wings so much if that option is not available to you. Don't be afraid to utilize the central area of the pitch. Don't be afraid to come in from the middle. We've got the technicality.
One of the
and
things
ability
I want to talk about, and this actually overlaps into what you were saying into what I'm going to ask Sindra. The thing about crossing, it's very 1999, right? Dwight York, Andy Carroll, and Andy Cole.
And David Beckham.
David Beckham, obviously, right? This is
Sorry,
very
guys, I gotta
1999.
go. Sorry to cut you.
No worries, buddy. No worries. But
All right, Feroz. Peace,
Thanks for
brother.
having me. Take care,
But-
panel. Take care.
the thing is that was a very 1999 way to play. The problem with that is that if you're crossing from 40 yards outside into the box, it's an inefficient way to score. So you have to be able to try in different ways. And I think what Bree is getting at is that we are willing to try in different ways. And I for one, am very interested in that. I think that Jackson is extremely fast, and Kunku obviously very fast. Do I think that Jackson will be the starting striker for the season? Yeah, I actually do. I am impressed with what he's done, but at the same time, look, I'm hearing what Pochettino is saying. He's saying, I want to sign players and I want to sign players fast. So I'm hearing what the coach is saying. I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I am not the arbiter of what we do. Pochettino is, and Bowley is. So we'll see. But I know what I've seen, and I do absolutely like that Colwell is starting, even if it is placating to a young man that should absolutely not have the largesse and the fucking power that he does. But once again, when he signs, he will no longer have the power.
Did we get those substitutions? Was Caicedo on the substitutions?
Bree, what do you? What's the word?
Coming.
I refreshed my screen. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, we're doomed. We're all doomed.
Oh no. I'm Cape. Nope, just kidding.
By the way, who's playing with Cole?
Thiago Silva.
Thiago
Silva.
Well, isn't that
Oh.
such an audition? Wow, so easy.
I got it. So we have Cumming, Bergstrom, Chalobah, Humphreys, Gilchrist, Cucurella, Hall, Cassidy, Enzo, Moreira, Angelo, Mudryk, Jackson, and Burstow.
So Mudryk not playing. Okay.
No,
Oh, shit.
Mudryk is
I think it's fitness.
I think we'll see him come in.
I think
maybe
that
75th
I think
minute.
Mudryk just played the U20 World Cup. Why is he not fit? How is he not working? How is he
Or
not?
maybe.
Recovery.
Give me
And
a break.
is Matson playing on the left wing or right wing? 'Cause I
So
have
here's what I
everybody-
want to ask you, Sadiq Matson.
Okay.
This guy, we've got 4 left backs. This guy wants to play on left wing. He's auditioning at left wing. Guess what? That's a real quick way to not be on Chelsea anymore. If he is auditioning at left wing. See, people don't understand this. People don't understand this. If you are auditioning for outside of your position, you are competing against the people that are in that position. He's not going to win left back. Left wing? Give me a break, Steve.
Carlito, I'll tell you one rule in life. Anything can happen. Even unexpected.
That is a cliche.
No, but honestly, he can be 4th choice. 5th choice. He can
Yeah,
be
but
last
does
choice.
he want to be 5th choice?
I think he understands what it is to be a Chelsea player.
Have you asked him?
I mean, I asked Ruben Loftus-Cheek. There's no reason why I can't ask him this season, Watson.
I mean, Ruben just left because he knows he had no future here.
But he's a proper Chelsea. He stayed for that long.
No, you say he's proper Chelsea.
He's more Chelsea than Mount.
Fair
Well,
enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. No, my question to you is very simple. Is he seriously going to win the left back argument over Ben Chilwell, who is 100% going to start, or Mark Cucurella, who cost $65 million? Like,
No, 100%
come on.
not. 100% not.
But now you saw last game where he played left wing, not left back, left wing.
Yeah, saucy.
No. I understand. And he is up for a £50 million bid. I got it. But if he really wanted to stay, and if the coach really wanted him to stay, the coach would have played him at left back. He didn't.
But the coach can't play him left back because he's got two.
Oh, why not? Why not, mate? Why not, mate?
Two expensive assets that will make him.
Oh,
look bad.
no. Who played left back instead of him, man? Mark Cucurella, because that's the player that the coach trusts. It's as simple as that. All these people shitting on me saying that Ian Maatson is going to be sold. Of course he's going to be sold. Of course he is. Grow up, man.
I'll come back to you on that.
You don't have to.
Why can't we do what we did in 2012 with playing Maatson left mid like we did with Ryan Bertrand and have like a more defensive right side and
Not even
more,
that. Not
more
even
offensive right side?
Like Victor Moses had to change position and we won the league. Maatson could be a key player for us, people. Let's go.
At what position, Sadiq?
He played. Maatson. Yeah, I'm telling you, he can play in emergencies in the wings.
Says who?
We've just seen him in the first preseason game.
Oh my God! One game. You've got to be kidding me,
Bro.
And against Wrexham as well.
You've got to be, Sadiq. You've got to be kidding me.
Wrexham might be shit.
Sadiq, I used to do this as a coach. I would play players that didn't fit into awkward positions. Pochettino just played him at left wing.
Let me ask you a question, Carlito. Would you take Maatson left wing or would you take the shit that you saw last season?
Well, that's a loaded question. What shit are you talking about?
I'm talking about the shit that we saw come 12th place.
So, again, would you ask me a proper question instead of a loaded question? Oh, you can't do that, can you?
A proper Chelsea? Would you take a proper Chelsea?
Shut the fuck up.
Give you 100%?
Enough with the proper Chelsea. Just ask me what you want to ask me.
Okay, would you give a player that's committed?
Would I take Maatson over Ben Chilwell? No, I wouldn't.
No, no, we're not talking about left back position. I'm not talking about left back position.
But
I'm talking about your Ziyech's, your Pulisic, your.
They no longer play for Chelsea.
Ziyech is still there.
Yeah,
until
Not for
he
long.
doesn't.
but
medical.
Sitting. You are a massive troll, but I think you're trying to be sincere. Why are you trying to be sincere right now? And what are you trying to ask me?
I want him to be fourth choice squad depth.
It's not going to happen because he doesn't want to be fourth choice. No professional would be.
Have you asked him?
Oh no,
Yes,
he has ambitions, man. He has ambitions.
he's young and ambitious, yeah.
Here's my question, Sadiq. Do you mean fourth choice left back, or do you mean as far as being a winger?
Oh, winger. Like obviously he'll be behind, the likes of Sterling.
Who's the third choice? Who's the third choice left
Angelo
back?
Gabriel, get the fuck out of here.
Could I ask who's the third choice left back?
Why do we need a third choice left?
Yeah, but if you're saying he's fourth choice left back, who's the third choice?
I didn't say left back.
No, but we have already have
Lewis
four
Hall,
choice left.
I just answered your question, Lewis.
I said
Hall.
Lewis Hall as well.
I would have Maatson over
Lewis Hall
at
won't
left
be on the
back.
team either.
Yeah, again, you guys, Maatson is tiny. What are we talking about here? He's a liability.
This
This is the reason that the guy that we sent to Brighton, who is tiny,
Lamptey.
doesn't play for England.
Yeah,
There's a reason.
Scottish
Lamptey, Tariq Lamptey. It's the reason why he doesn't play for England.
Oh.
Get it? Because he's small.
Might be the injuries too.
He's 5'4".
No,
Lamptey's
it is
5'4".
because he is tiny. If you had to defend a 6'2" striker, you're gonna lose. That's it. Because that's football, man. That's athletes. That's athletics, man. Come on.
They'll just target the back post when across from the right hand side.
Of course.
From their right hand side to the left hand side because Lamptey's like 5'4".
No, but here's the problem, Sindra. Sadiq believes in Ian Maatson. It's
I think-
nonsense. It's
I think
We'll
complete
see,
nonsense.
guys. Listen, we'll see. It's only pre-season now. Let's just see at the end of August.
I think he's talented, but I don't think he actually has a future at Chelsea. Like, I could have seen him have a future like earlier, but with both Chilwell and Correa now, I don't see a future for him. And if we sell him, and he's also counted as a homegrown player, so we haven't if we sell him, it will go like it will be a boost in the books because of homegrown, and we
Yeah,
would
of
have
course.
profit for him as
course.
well. So it's a
course.
bonus for selling him for like 15, and maybe we can have a like we did with Guy, have a sell-on clause or a buyback clause on him if he
Well-
really starts to perform well.
Look, how many times did Ross Barkley show up in a preseason and score a bunch of goals?
Oh,
We're like,
come on,
oh,
come on, that's
Ross the
disrespect.
boss in
That's disrespect.
preseason,
That's the
and then it's Dross Barkley in the regular season.
ice cold, ice cold, ice cold.
Hey, all I'm saying is preseason, it was against Wrexham. This kid is 5'8". Okay, I know Cucurella is small too, but Cucurella's played in the big leagues. Matson's played in the juniors. Okay, let's have it right. Let's have it right.
You guys are insane if you think that we're going to sell Cucurella. I've seen so many people say we're going to sell Mark Cucurella. That is insane.
Like
By the
he
way,
had one bad year.
not only does he not have any sell-on value, we're not selling him. We're going to give him a chance. By the way, I know he made mistakes. There is a good player in there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a good player in there. Same
No,
with
there
Ben
is,
Chilwell.
definitely.
Ben Chilwell, dude, Ben Chilwell is one of the best left backs in the world. I see people saying sell Chilwell. Your people, Sadiq, you're fucking British people.
Me?
Saying
What?
no, you're British people.
Who?
Saying sell Ben Chilwell.
We
Are
want
you
names.
kidding me?
We
If
want
he
names,
was
bro.
fit, he would start for England without question. Like, you got to be kidding me with this shit, man. I'm so tired of these British people with their opinions that they don't deserve. I'm tired of this shit. Saying Ben Chilwell's shit. Ben Chilwell is one of, if not the best left back in the world. I am so tired of people saying he's shit. He's not shit. He's fucking outstanding.
He scored
He's
last
good.
time.
He's good, but I wouldn't say he's one of the best left backs in the world.
He is one of the Jared.
He is.
He's one of the best left backs in the world.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
If he's fit, yes. Like if you
That's
take,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
like that's the same with Reece James. When Reece James is
Reece James is. Reece
on
James
it and is
No,
fit,
Reece James is not just one of the best right backs in the world. He's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, I think that I'm not worried about our fullback positions at all.
I'm not either.
Yeah.
Malagusto, we're good. Cucurella, back up, we're good.
We're good on the right back, left back. As soon as we sign Caicedo, we'll be good in the midfield.
Yeah.
We do need another center back as well now. Chalobah needs to go.
Who do you think we should sign
Who
at
said
centre
who?
back?
Who said who? Who said who?
You know who said who? Don't play games.
No, I don't know who.
Well, it wasn't me, and it wasn't Centric.
Who said who on Chalobah?
It wasn't me, but I agree. I think we need to sell Chalobah.
No, someone wants to keep Chalobah, so let's hear it.
Wasn't me. Fair enough?
No.
Okay.
Sindra?
Nobody said it, so it just
Sindra?
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 Yeah.
Did you say ooh?
I said who because I want to ask who should we sign because you started to say we should sign
Okay. He's a freaking owl now.
You don't thought it was me.
You know it was Sadiq. You know it was Sadiq.
I was gonna ask because he was talking about that Chalobah was gonna go and that we should because of the Fofana injury which centre back should we buy?
I don't know.
Who should we buy?
I've got two in mind.
Steve, what do you think?
No, I want to hear Justice. I ain't got no defenders in mind. Honestly, I don't.
No, I know you don't. That's why I put you on the spot.
Disassi, from Monaco,
Okay.
and Gahey from Crystal Palace. Are the two that for
Really?
me, of the ones that I've seen listed, I don't want Felipe. I saw him play. He is not that great.
Is that the Lazio or the Real Betis player talking about? Or
Well, no, he was at Lazio first,
yeah, the
So-
Real Betis.
but
Sadiq,
now,
can I ask you?
that's a step down.
Okay.
Mm.
Sadiq, can I ask you this question? Do you think that we will address the issue of the center back?
What was the question? Sorry.
Do you think that we will address the issue of the center back?
It's
Because look, no one here was planning on Wesley Fofana blowing his knee. No one.
Mm-hmm.
And I can assure you, Pochettino did not either. Because, dude, Fofana was going to be a starter. So now we have to improvise. What's the game plan, Sadiq?
so who we got? We've got Silva, we've got Colwell, we've got Chalobah.
Badiashile.
So
Who's
four.
also
We've
injured.
got four, right?
Because, by the way, Ampadu has been sold.
Yeah.
Just been sold.
Yeah.
No, that's it. We have four. We have four. And Badiashile won't be available until August.
Oh, yeah. I mean, also. when
By
we
the way,
played-
he would start. In my opinion, he would start.
What, immediately?
I don't care about lefty righty. I think him and Colwell, I'm fine with two lefties starting.
I think Silva will play, definitely. It's one game a week.
Well,
Uh,
of course, I'm not objecting. Of course, This
I
is
think
one of
Silva
the best
will play
players
the
ever.
big games, and I think he'll play the big games. I think they're going to try to. The plan was to step him back
Yeah.
and have him kind of be the mentor for that group of players, but not have him play the big game, but not week in, week out.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
Challengers.
I don't write these comments, people. I don't write these. I don't
Like,
troll like Carlito.
I do. I
I
do.
don't troll. I don't troll, guys.
So I think they do need to bring in a center back who can play in a back four. Chalobah is too slow of a foot. He doesn't like to play in space. That's just an accident waiting to happen.
He's
You move him
always out
on.
of position.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
is.
Let
You move him on.
Bree speak. Let Bree speak.
Okay, fine. I will finish.
I didn't mean to interject. Sorry, Jester.
No, that's
but just
fine.
to
She
say-
can blue balls. So I'll
Hold on.
finish.
All right, Jared. Sorry. Go ahead. Look, I'm not perfect as a host. Let Jared finish. My God. No, Bree, let Jared finish.
So anyway,
Fuck.
so I
me,
think it's going to
man.
be at least the two names that I've seen on the list that I find acceptable are the Sassy and then the Gahey. And unless they got some other names they're going to look at, that for me, of those two, Gahey gives you homegrown status on that. There's not much difference in the two players. Disassy's better in the air. Gahey's probably better with his feet. That's it.
All right. Go ahead, Bree.
Oh, I was just gonna piggyback
Again,
off what-
sorry.
No, I wanted him to finish. I didn't mean to interject.
Yeah.
But,
By the way, that's what she said.
Hey.
anyway,
I
pervert.
apologize for nothing.
I think we definitely need to move on from Chalobah. People keep telling me time and time again that this guy is so reliable. He's so consistent. He is consistently making mistakes. This
Thank
man
you.
loves to push up into the midfield. He leaves his partner, which is usually an old Thiago Silva, abandoned on an island by himself. And Wesley Fofana does it a lot too, where he steps up into the midfield and he's a bit too far for comfort. But Wesley Fofana has the pace to be able to recover.
Yeah.
And he has a better reading and understanding of the game.
Yeah.
Even Chalobah, truth. Even in the friendly against Wrexham, when people were praising him, saying that he was playing so well and it's great to see, Captain Trev. Even then, I saw parts of play where he was pulled out of position and the only person back was Bashir Humphreys, who, by the way, I'm not like there are people who are obsessed with these academy graduates. I am definitely not one of them, but I thought he looked really solid. Nothing to write home about, but I thought Bashir Humphreys looked good.
So,
He looked
Bree,
comfortable.
if Trevor Chalobah started a big Premier League game for Chelsea, would
Liverpool.
you be nervous?
Every single time.
Yep. Then that's a problem. That's
If
a
he
problem.
starts against Liverpool, I would be nervous.
So
I
for
wouldn't
me,
be.
what I would do is I would get through this season with the center backs we have. If we can't bring in somebody of a top quality, that's not okay with competing. What I would do, write it out, one last season with Thiago Silva. I think he's gone after his contract is up at the end of this year. And what I would do is go for a top player to compete with Wesley Fofana on the right-hand side, and I would bring in Antonio Silva of Benfica. His passing range and his numbers are up on a level with Levi Colwell. He's got a really, really good diagonal pass on him coming from the right-hand side. If you can open up those passing lanes on the left and right-hand side by combining them, as well as he's got some height to him. I mean,
So again, Sadiq,
Spacer,
anyone that
Spacer.
wants to consider this panel to be misogynist, I promise you, we are not. Pro women and Breezy again, just bringing the fucking. Heat.
I go get a
love it.
misogynist every weekend.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
You guys
massage.
are harsh.
I'm sorry.
Like,
You guys are
I don't
harsh,
need to
man.
hear about what you do. I'm just kidding.
no, Bree, very good, very good. Thank you.
I'd like to shout
Carlito,
about.
I don't. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't be nervous of Chalobah playing a big league game for Chelsea because I know that he's going to make mistakes. That's pretty much it.
Mistakes. That's it.
If he does a good game, that's when I'd be surprised. I'd be off my chair like, what? Is this Chalobah or someone else? Like,
Thank you. Thank you.
You guys are harsh.
It's a weird question if that I would actually like to see Chalobah play like a DM, like he did at
Like
Lorient.
David Louis?
That is some hipster bullshit. Come on.
And yes, played there before. I think because he steps up in the field, I think he could be a good deep line playmaker. He could not playmaker, but deep line defensive midfielder.
Captain Trev.
I'm not saying.
So
captain.
I'm gonna have to ask Sindra, you and Sadiq, if we have a Champions League final,
Yeah.
who are your two center backs?
You mean this season?
What we have available?
Well, obviously Thiago Silva by the Chile.
Okay. So
Agree.
no Trevor Chalobah, right?
No.
Sadiq?
No.
No?
I-
Then what the fuck are we talking about?
I
What?
wasn't suggesting that he
What?
was starting the game. I was just
I
suggesting.
never said he would start. I never said he would
move
start.
to midfield.
Sadiq, do you seriously think that Trevor Chalobah is good enough to play for this team?
Right this second, no, of course not.
No. Say that again. Because I know that you feel this way.
No. You don't understand. How can we judge from a bad season? A youngster.
No.
who can play multiple
I
positions.
saw him before the season.
Yeah, but it was really bad last
Because
season.
I'm
really
smart and I'm analytical.
No.
Like,
He
players
dribbled
down.
down the ground. He scored the goal. He played 2 seasons for Chelsea. What are you talking about? I have 2 seasons.
He can improve. He's a kid.
No.
He's
But-
not-
That is not. Oh, whoa! That is not true, Sadiq. He's not a kid.
Chalobah's 24.
He's not a kid.
Yeah, so he's gonna be in his actual prime years very soon.
Sadiq, he is 3 years younger than you. He is not a
Hey.
kid.
Hey, there's no need for that. My
Buddy,
birthday's
buddy,
very soon.
24 is not a kid. What are you
Here-
talking about?
To
Here's
me,
the
he's a
thing.
kid.
This is how we got in trouble in the last few seasons. We have had fans who don't hold our players accountable. One of them who's gotten away with it is Chalobah.
He's
We
not
had
first
Mason
team.
Mount.
She is so
He's not
right.
first
We
team.
had Mason Mount, though, and Mason Mount was not good enough.
Yeah,
If you
Mason
watch
Mount
how
is
he
shit.
played for Manchester United, if you watch how the young kids, Caicedo, played, if you put those two side by side, you can see Caicedo is constantly playing with his head up, constantly looking for the open man, for the run. He's not glory seeking like Mason Mount, head down. Maybe I'll take a shot from outside of the box and get a wonder goal. It's not going to happen. He's not good enough.
Bree. I never
He's-
said Chandler will be first team. I never ever said he'll be first
Callum
team.
Hudson-Odoi was never good enough.
Hey,
Post injury,
no, he was.
never good enough.
Pre-injury, he was good. No, I
I
will fight you.
seriously
I will
love that
fight you.
note.
I
Never
will
good enough.
fight you. I will
Ruben
fight
loved
you
his
now.
cheek. I love him to pieces. He was a really good utility player. He was a Swiss knife.
All right,
He was not good enough.
let's get on. Let's get back on track.
Breezy giving people windburn tonight.
Because
the problem
here's-
is that Sadiq is
The icy
being
breeze.
But
The
it's
Sadiq-
not
the
about
pro-
age though. It's not
Hey.
because we look at Angelo. I know it was one game against Wrexham, but we look
no,
at Enzo Fernandez.
no. With him, no. I don't care about age. I care about
No.
quality.
You can see it in his quality. You can see it in Enzo Fernandez. You could see it in Reece James when he first came into the team.
Yeah.
There are players that are good enough regardless of age, and then there are players who you give excuses to because they're young, they might improve. Chances are they're not. Trev Chalobah, I think, is definitely good enough to be in the Premier League, but for a team of the level of Chelsea Football Club, he's not there.
He is
That's
bad.
very harsh.
He's a bad player, man. He's a
Very
bad
harsh.
player.
He's not there.
Can
If
I
we
also-
want to compete for titles, if we want to be
He
in
is a
Champions
bad
League,
player, Sadiq. That's
he's
it.
not good enough.
He's a squad depth player.
No, not even.
But
no,
you can't
no,
rely
no,
on him, though.
No,
He's
Like-
not good enough.
no.
I can rely on him in different positions.
Would
Syndrome
he-
beat him.
No,
Would he be able to
okay, we're done. Nope, Sadiq, you're trolling now. So I'm gonna end. No,
said it.
you just
Cindy said
you
it.
just fucking trolled. So
CJ said it.
no,
Come
you
on.
just trolled. So
He wouldn't
what
play
we're
for
gonna do
Man
is we're
City,
gonna
though.
no, Bree. I'm sorry. We're gonna end the barbecue. Sadiq just fucking trolled. The barbecue is sincere. I am not interested in this bullshit. We don't do that. Jared, can you close this out, please?
Thank you for joining us for this wonderful pregame show. If you'd like to have a return trip on this flight, please book in your calendar for every Friday, maybe Saturday, if we don't feel like doing it down Friday. Speak with your representatives as you leave. The lighted aisles are to the right and to the left. Make sure that you leave the place the way you found it, and come back and see us real soon.
Thank you.
Good outro, man.
Keep
No,
your
no.
hands and
I'll
feet in
leave.
the
I'll
bag.
leave everybody that's listening with this. I don't troll. This is also my company. I don't fucking troll. Half of my company does. The other doesn't. I don't appreciate it. It's insincere. Fuck off.